If there's one rock band that has unexpectedly become the favourite of a new generation in 2026, it's probably not the latest indie sensation or a viral social media act. It's Rush. The legendary Canadian trio, once dismissed by some as a band for music nerds and die-hard prog rock enthusiasts, have just completed a 4-night sold-out residency at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. And what happened there was nothing short of remarkable. This wasn't simply a comeback, it felt like a cultural revival. On stage, Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson reminded everyone why they're regarded as two of rock's most respected musicians. But there was also a new star capturing the attention of nearly everyone in the arena, drummer Anika Nilles. Many fans joked that while two legends walked into the Forum, three heroes walked out. And judging by the reaction each night, they weren't entirely wrong. Perhaps the most fascinating thing about Rush in 2026 is how much their fan base has evolved. For decades, Rush were often labelled as too technical, too complicated, or simply too geeky for mainstream audiences. But the tide seems to have turned. If people once felt they were too cool to listen to Rush, now many feel they aren't cool enough to join the club. And honestly, I can relate. For years, I admired Rush from a distance without ever fully diving into their catalogue. But after witnessing this 3-hour musical masterclass, I finally understood what all the fuss was about. This wasn't just another rock concert, it was a display of musicianship at a level rarely seen today. Yes, there were moments of intense progressive rock complexity, particularly during the performance of material from 2112. But almost every other minute of the evening felt like a thrilling collision between heavy metal, intricate rhythms, and sheer musical brilliance. By the end of the night, I realized that becoming a Rush fan doesn't require a degree in music theory. You simply need to appreciate exceptional guitar playing, extraordinary bass work, or world-class drumming. As for Geddy Lee's famously distinctive voice, I'd always assumed it was something of an acquired taste. Well, after only 50 years, I think I've finally acquired it. Yet the standout story of the evening was undoubtedly Anika Nilles. Replacing someone as iconic as Neil Peart is a challenge that most drummers wouldn't dare attempt. Many believed it was impossible. Anika proved otherwise. Every drum fill she played was greeted with thunderous applause. Every complex passage seemed to earn another wave of admiration from the crowd. Even fellow musicians in attendance were visibly impressed. Matt Lugg, drummer for AC/DC, described her as the perfect choice for the role. He pointed out that if the band already sounds this good at the start of a tour, it's exciting to imagine what they'll be capable of a year from now. For many long-time fans, the band's return still feels surreal. After Neil Peart's passing, few expected Geddy and Alex to perform together again. Yet here they are, not simply revisiting old glories, but creating something fresh and exciting. And perhaps that's why these shows feel so special. There's a genuine sense of joy on stage. They're not performing out of obligation, they're performing because they want to. What's equally remarkable is the number of new fans discovering Rush for the first time. One guitarist I spoke to explained that she only explored the band's catalogue during the pandemic. Within weeks, she was completely hooked. And that's the magic of Rush. Beneath all the technical brilliance and complex arrangements lies something deeply emotional. Their music isn't just impressive, it makes people feel something. That combination of extraordinary skill and genuine heart is what continues to attract listeners across generations. Another refreshing aspect of the current tour is the band's sense of humor. Despite their reputation as progressive rock perfectionists, Rush have never taken themselves too seriously. The shows feature comedy sketches, self-deprecating videos, and playful references that remind audiences these are still three musicians who know how to have fun. For newer listeners, it's an invitation rather than a challenge. You don't need to understand odd time signatures or progressive rock theory to enjoy this music. You simply need to be open to the experience. The set lists have also become far less predictable than in previous eras. Longtime fans have been delighted to hear songs returning after decades away from the stage, making every show feel unique. One moment that completely won me over was Free Will. Watching Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson and Anika Nilles simultaneously push their instruments to the limit was astonishing. The energy was relentless, the precision was breathtaking, and the crowd knew they were witnessing something special. Yet throughout the entire evening, the presence of Neil Peart remained unmistakable. His influence could be felt everywhere in the lyrics, the visual tributes, and the spirit of the music itself. Rush aren't trying to replace him, they're honoring him. And that's what makes this comeback so powerful. Rather than pretending the past never happened, they're embracing it while continuing to move forward. Few people would have predicted that a band often viewed as an outsider in the rock world would become one of the most celebrated acts of 2026. But after witnessing these performances, it suddenly makes perfect sense. Rush haven't changed who they are. With this tour, fans finally get a chance to celebrate the band's legacy. Yes, there were some emotional moments, and Geddy's voice occasionally cracked as he tried to pay tribute to his bandmate. But what came through most was an appreciation of the music the three had created. All 50 years of the band's career were represented in the shirts they proudly wore. Strangers quickly bonded over their shared love of Rush, and the excitement in the crowd was palpable, as was the emotional weight of the moment. Even with all the seriousness of the evening, the band never lost its sense of humor. Rush's 50-something North American reunion tour continues through December.